I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome this morning. Could we have public comment on agenda items only? Is there any public comment this morning? Hearing none. Minutes from the May 12th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion on the floor and properly seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
For personnel, for information, a resignation was received from Cassandra Starrett from Human Services, effective May 21st. Also for information, Maureen Hughes has been hired as a judicial line staff at the Domestic Relations Office at $15.83 per hour with benefits effective June 1st. For information, Lori West has been promoted to conference officer in the Domestic Relations Office at $19 per hour effective June 15th. Also for information, Mary Ann Personius has been transferred from Human Services to MDIT Coordinator, Special Victims Coordinator for the District Attorney's Office at $52,000 per year effective June 22nd. Items for approval is to hire Chelsea English as an intern in the Planning Department at $15 per hour with no benefits effective May 18th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up, we can take the next two together. Anaya Webb and Anthony Dunkel have been hired as ACE summer staff at $16 per hour with no benefits effective May 26th.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second the motion for approval.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up is to hire Aaliyah Meyer, an intern at Human Services at $15 per hour with no benefits effective June 1st.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And next is to hire Christian White, an independent living caseworker at Human Services, $18 an hour with benefits effective June 8th.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Next up is hiring Colton Beard, a veteran service officer, at $16 an hour with benefits effective June 15th.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion for approval.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next is to hire Kelly Ray Boyce, a caseworker assistant at Human Services, at $16.65 an hour with benefits effective June 15th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion for approval.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next is to hire Melissa Underwood, planning specialist, $24 per hour with benefits effective June 15th.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Next up is promotion of Spencer Doan to full-time corrections officer at the Tioga County Prison, $22.04 per hour effective May 17th.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion for approval.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next is to promote Blue Riesinger to operations manager at Tioga County Prison, $40,000 per year effective 5/18.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And then up next is the termination of Jessica Gordon from Human Services effective May 26th.
I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Next up is...
Can we,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to add a communication from Southern Tioga School District about an SRO or a school resource officer to the agenda, or to our agenda this morning.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor of adding the communication from Southern Tioga to the agenda? Aye.
Aye. Do you want to read it, Sam, or something?
Yeah. So the Southern Tioga School District, San Mateo reached out to us to see if we'd be interested in partnering with them to provide security at their schools. Currently in Bradford County, I think Canton and also the VOTEC has the Bradford or County Sheriff doing that. And they were looking for a little bit higher level of training for their security officers at Southern Tioga, for Mansfield, Liberty, and Blossburg. So we reached out with a formal request to the Sheriff's Office, Dear Commissioners, on behalf of Southern Tioga. I'm writing formally to request strategic partnership between the District of Tioga and the Sheriff's Department to establish a dedicated school resource officer program for the upcoming 26-27 school year. The safety, security, and well-being of students, facility, faculty, and staff members are the highest priority of our district. As school safety needs to continue to evolve, we believe that integrating active law enforcement professionals into our school community is a vital step toward fostering a secure learning environment, building positive community relations, and ensuring rapid response capabilities. To adequately support and cover our district footprint, we request 3 full-time sheriff's deputies to serve as dedicated school resource officers who will become the school resource officers once training is attained. These officers will be deployed across our facilities to provide consistent, visible, and protective law enforcement presence. We look forward to collaborating with you and the Board of Commissioners as we discuss operational logistics, cost-sharing structures, and memorandum for understandings necessary to move forward with this initiative. And they've attached a memorandum of understanding as well. And I believe last night at their meeting, they voted to move forward with this conversation as well to pursue this. August 1st would be the deadline, I think, for putting it in place. So about a month and almost 2 months before it would be finalized. So we talked with the sheriff about covering it and what it takes to cover it, make sure the cost is not put on the county, obviously, and the school kind of agreed to an initial term so far as funding for their side. So
I think it's definitely worth having a conversation with them. I'll entertain a motion to approve moving forward with the conversation.
I'll make the motion to move forward with the conversation with the Sheriff's Office and Southern Tioga School District.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Sam. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next up is an invoice from Dinter and Dinter Tree Surgeons for the emergency removal of the elm tree for $12,500, and that will be paid out of Act 13.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion for approval.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up is a request from the District Attorney's Office to have deputy coroners attend a conference and to have the expense paid out of Act 13.
I'll make the motion for approval, but I know Sandra's probably got something to show. That was gonna be here, right? That training was gonna be held in
Yeah, well,
Tioga County.
there's a 3-day conference scheduled for the end of June. Each attendant would be at $375. Typically, if they go to the statewide conference, we're talking $1,500 or more per person. So we're bringing them here. I don't know if it's going to happen because I don't know if we have enough attendees, but we're bringing a national expert in to talk about a 3-day death investigation course. So we wanted our deputy coroners to all attend that if they were able.
Yeah. It sounds like a much needed training for our community as well, and hope we get some support from local law enforcement, correct? Because
Anything you
that
can
would be
do
the other.
to help with that, that would be,
Sure.
yeah, encouraged.
I'll second the motion for approval.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Sandra, for moving the ball down the field with all this stuff, and we wanted to know that we appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
Next up is Resolution R-826, the 2026 CCAP priorities.
You read it all?
No, you don't have to read it all. I mean, you can just.
Discussion of it?
Yeah, if you want.
So obviously each year, CCAP is the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. We get together and discuss issues we see across the state. And then there's motions made to make a top priority list that we say, hey, CCAP, go out and lobby against these things or for these things for us on our behalf at state and federal levels. And so last year we worked our way through some stuff and put our priorities on. 911 is one of our big things. The cost for 911 is growing every year. So we're looking to have the increase on the possibly cell phones go up. But like last year's, I'll just read through it, it's easier that way. Pennsylvania County selected 3 priorities to be the focal point of their proactive agenda for 2026. These priorities showcase the county's commitment to core services that provide people and communities in Pennsylvania. Achieving these 3 county priorities underscore the critical need for redefining and reinvigorating the emphasis of statewide partnership and service delivery. Top priorities for 2026 were 911 funding and status updates. Current 911 funding revenues do not keep up with the increased cost of systems, which our needs to support the future, including planning, developing, and supporting of next-gen 911. Tioga County funding 40% of our 911 systems cost, which is being used for staffing, radio maintenance, and building maintenance. Counties are advocating for discussion among policymakers, stakeholders regarding the increase of surcharge, raising the cost for 911 systems. This cost includes expenses related to personnel, cybersecurity, long-term capital projects necessary for counties to ensure reliable, sustainable systems. What's the other one? Looking to provide community health-based services is a big need across the state, such as county residential programs, family-based support programs, outpatient care, crisis intervention, and critical to well-being of our constituents. And the third one was, timely reassessments. Establish a stable and dependable tax base for adequate funding for critical services as governments and county government. So yeah, the 3 were 911, mental health services, and establishing like a reoccurring timeline for our reassessments. I'm sure Lisa could speak to the cost is going
Yeah,
up.
I mean, the cost is astronomical. It's growing by leaps and bounds. Our increases in income in order to support that is not growing
Yeah.
nearly as much. Legislature did make some small changes year before last to that amount that is added to every device, and it isn't even just cell phones. The goal is every device that's out there that has the ability to connect to 911, so that includes tablets and all of those types of things, that there is a fee on each of those, and it's a significant amount of money that could be raised in order to support moving forward. Not only is the cost increasing, the technology is changing constantly, and in order to even begin to keep up with things, the money flow has to really change. So we had asked for a significant increase, I'd say significant across the board, it would be, a couple of years ago, and only got a portion of that approved, and we're getting ready to sunset on that amount. So hopefully this next time through, we can get that bumped up to where it's actually gonna sustain 911 to some extent and not have to find other avenues to come up with the difference.
I think it's at 190 right now.
Right now.
$1.90. I think $1.25 or
250.
225 we're pushing.
220 to
Yeah.
225 is, anything above that would be wonderful.
Yeah, and the average consumer would say $1 more a month, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things for quality 911 service.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you want 911, you want to have the reliable service.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up is to issue a proclamation, the Child Welfare Professionals Appreciation Week, June 8th through 12th.
All right, I will go ahead and read that proclamation. Whereas every day in Pennsylvania, thousands of children face the dangers of physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, or have been removed from their homes due to such mistreatment, and our Commonwealth recognizes these risks and remain committed to protecting children in every community. And whereas our child welfare professionals and service providers take on the challenging task of investigating child abuse, assessing safety, providing services to families to ensure that every child has a healthy, nurturing care and support as they transition into adulthood. And whereas these professionals have tirelessly provided safeguards for children from harm, often placing themselves in danger and navigating emotionally challenging situations to ensure the protection and well-being of children across our Commonwealth. And whereas child welfare service providers apply culturally responsive and trauma-informed expertise to their vital work in family preservation, foster and other out-of-home care, counseling, behavioral health treatment, independent living skills, and additional complex areas of support. And whereas our child welfare professionals develop exceptional skills in working with families who are struggling with mental health challenges, suffering from drug and alcohol afflictions, poverty, or facing other hardships. And whereas these dedicated service providers have expert knowledge and skills surrounding the rights of families, laws surrounding child welfare, and legal processes governing the system, and whereas child welfare professionals and service providers play a critical role in protecting our children, strengthening our families, and preventing future abuse and neglect, and are instrumental in ensuring that every Pennsylvanian has the opportunity to succeed and the freedom to chart their own course. And whereas I commend all of our devoted professionals and service providers for their exemplary public service and their commitment to creating a better, brighter future for every child across our Commonwealth. Thank you all so much for all the work you do.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The next proclamation is for Men's Health Week, June 15th through the 21st.
Whereas Men's Health Month is part of the ongoing international effort to educate men, boys, and their families about the importance of preventative health screenings, early detection, and healthy lifestyles. Whereas nationwide, men have a life expectancy of approximately 6 years shorter than that of women, and experience higher rates of chronic disease, including diabetes, obesity, cancer, heart disease, and premature mortality. Whereas Men's Health Month provides the opportunity to recognize the mental and physical health needs of men and boys while encouraging fathers and caregivers to serve as positive role models through preventative care, healthy living, and help-seeking behaviors. Whereas the growing epidemic of of despair includes deaths related to substance, suicide, and other disorders, alcohol misuse, and homelessness, underscores the urgent need to raise awareness for unrecognized and undiagnosed depression, mental health, stress, and emotional distress among boys and men. Whereas the centerpiece of Men's Health Month is National Men's Health Month Special Awareness Period passes by Congress and is signed into law on May 31st, 1994, and is observed annually through the efforts of Men's Health Network and to build healthy empathy, recognition, and understanding the unique health concerns facing men and boys. Now therefore, we the Board of Commissioners of Tioga County do hereby proclaim June 15th to 21st as Men's Health Week in Tioga County. Signed, Board of Commissioners.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next up is a proclamation for World Elder Abuse Awareness Day on June 15th.
And I think we have someone.
Would you come forward and read the proclamation?
You want to do that, Becca?
You can be in a solid area and stand with her.
Thank you. Okay. Proclamation, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, June 15, 2026. Whereas older adults deserve to be treated with respect and dignity to enable them to serve as leaders, mentors, volunteers, and vital participating members of our communities. And whereas in 2006, the International Network for the Prevention of Elder Abuse, in support of the United Nations International Plan of Action, proclaimed a day to recognize the significance of elder abuse as a public health and human right issue. And whereas 2026 marks the 20th annual World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, its recognition will promote a better understanding of abuse and neglect of older adults. And whereas the National Center on Elder Abuse and the Tioga County Commissioners recognize the importance of taking action to raise awareness, prevent, and address elder abuse. And whereas our population lives longer, we are presented with an opportunity to think about our collective needs and a future as a nation. And whereas ageism and social isolation are major causes of elder abuse in the United States. And whereas recognizing that it is up to all of us to ensure the proper social structures exist so people can retain community and social connections, reducing the likelihood of abuse. And whereas preventing abuse of older adults through maintaining and improving social supports like senior centers, human services, and transportation will allow everyone to continue to live as independently as possible and contribute to the life and vibrancy of our communities. And whereas where there is justice, there can be no abuse. Therefore, NCA urges all people to restore justice by honoring older adults. Join us in our engaging empowerment movement and put an end to abuse. Therefore, the Tioga County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim June 15th, 2026 as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Tioga County, encourage all of our communities to recognize and celebrate older adults and their ongoing contributions to the success and vitality of our country. Dated on this day of the 9th day of June, Tioga County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are having an event on the 15th at 11 on the green, and I have some flyers here that I'm just gonna
Oh, great.
leave on this
Thank you.
table.
Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate Area Agency on Aging. I sit on the board and go over there. They do a lot for our whole area. Funding's always an issue, obviously,
Yes,
trying
yep.
to find funds to go around. But it's a needed service. I think a lot of people take advantage of it here in Wellport for sure, at the community center.
And we serve 4 counties, so
Yeah.
we have a lot of area to cover.
We do,
So,
we do.
yeah, so we appreciate everyone's time.
All right, thank you
Thank
so
you.
Thank
much.
you so much.
We're leaving.
They're busy.
We have reports.
I'll make a motion to pass that.
I'll second that motion for
All those
approval.
in favor? Aye.
Next up is County Ordinance 2026-4 for Local Emergency Planning Commission to increase the hazardous chemical fee.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Just for a quick discussion, so I think like multi-county, okay, who wants to speak?
We
Yes.
refer this to Mark.
Yeah.
So, in 1991, there was an ordinance to collect a $50 fee for all the hazardous chemicals that are housed in our area. And that's through the EPA federally. We just wanted to increase that up to $75. We can go all the way up to $100. And we use that money through LAPC to help with equipment for our local responders. So like we've purchased CO monitors for our EMS. We do foam suppression for fires for our fire department. So that ordinance is just to increase it up to 75.
Was there a certain volume of storage that has to happen before they get hit with that fee? Like, is it-
No, it's certain chemicals.
Okay, so if you have 5 gallons of this chemical or 100 gallons, it doesn't matter, you're paying that storage fee.
Depending on the facility, yes. Yep. So like your water sewer treatment plants have
Yep.
it, these BFA have it.
Okay.
Not everybody has to pay a fee, some are exempt, but
Okay.
we can get into the weeds with all that, so we won't go that far, but, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next up is a proposal from Real Estate Appraisal and Marketing Associates to appraise a property over in Mansfield.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Next up is a proposal from the Virgin Company, and they're the ones who do annual maintenance on the clock outside of the courthouse there.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next up is to approve the 2026-2027 advisory committees for the Northern Tier Regional Planning and Development Commission.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I will second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next up are the 29 agreements attached to your agendas for the Human Services.
And that didn't change at all from our workshop? Okay. I'll make the motion for approval.
And I will second that motion for approval.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And next up is just for information, May 2026 payroll and benefits and May 2026 accounts payable.
Thank you, Janice.
And next is any discussion.
Yep, so we have Rachel here that's going to talk a little bit through all the stuff that we've learned since the beginning of someone looking at Tioga County for data center development. We thought it's important, we talk about this a lot. The most important part of any elected official's job, we think, is to give honest, accurate information to the public. I know that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of times, there was certain things that coming into this office that I didn't understand the exact process of the way things work and whose lane certain things were in. So in the spirit of kind of educating the public, the planning department has set up a seminar to kind of inform the public. So Rachel, if you just want to speak a little bit to that, that would be
Yes.
great. Thank you.
I think there's a lot of misinformation, like you said, floating around, and the more we can inform our residents, what does a land development process look like? It will differ depending on the municipality and what safeguards are in place. So I think that starting at the base level of, what is the process? Who does approve a land development, and getting that baseline, information out there will help the public understand, how these different industries are moving in. So we invite everybody June 23rd over to Strawn Auditorium. We have a couple presenters lined up to talk about SALDO zoning ordinances. We're gonna again review the county's data center ordinance. There will be an opportunity for public comment as well as submission of questions for our panelists ahead of time. So please help spread the word and get there. We're also encouraging people to get involved at the municipal level. Go out to municipal meetings, figure out what safeguards your municipality has in place, because again, that land development process is going to vary depending what your specific municipality has in place.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, and thanks for all the work you're doing, Rachel, and the Tioga County Planning Office and the Planning Commission. Again, since August of last year, y'all have worked tirelessly to understand what the impacts of a data center are going to have on our community, and really appreciate your commitment. Rachel spoke at Senator Yaw's presentation for Center of Rural Pennsylvania, and I would encourage you to read her testimony. It lays out exactly the effort that Tioga County took to put safeguards in place, and she explains it very well in her testimony. I don't know if that's on the Planning Commission website.
We will get it there.
But I'm telling you,
We'll
like,
put it up there.
it is so elegantly written, and it explains the steps in the process. And, we hear our constituents say, just say no. We don't have the authority, county commissioners don't have the authority to limit any form of economic development in Tioga County. And if we limited data centers, if we said no to data centers, we'd have to say no to all other forms of economic development. So, and I'm excited, we've invited the county solicitor to this meeting on the 23rd, and he is going to explain the powers that the county commissioners have, and our planning commission, and our SALDO, and this ordinance, and the way we've structured this ordinance. So I'm excited to get some factual information out there. Again, there's a lot of information floating around out there that is not truthful. We did not sign an NDA. We have no reason to sign an NDA. We have nothing to hide. Essentially in August when we found out that a data center was planning a development in Tioga County, it took us a whole 24 hours to say we need an ordinance in place, because that's our authority. That's the power that we have to put safeguards in place. And I'm proud of the ordinance we've worked on and put in place, and we're continuing to have conversations to make sure that the ordinance we have in place is as strong and comparable to all other ordinances in Pennsylvania. Just this last week, we've talked with the county solicitor about some things that are implemented in a township ordinance in Bradford County. So we're going to continue to make sure we have those safeguards in place. If one of those data centers has to come to Tioga County, we want to make sure it's done responsibly and in line with all of the other forms of economic development in our community. So appreciate y'all and the commitment, and every day y'all talk about data centers and what's best and how are you going to do this if we see a set of plans. So, and really appreciate all of our municipalities. Those folks are learning right alongside of us. And answering questions, and trying to figure out if a set of plans are submitted, how does it get processed, right? So we're trying to figure that process out as well. So again, it's a learning curve that we're trying to figure out together with our municipalities, and appreciate everybody's time and commitment to figuring this out. So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you to some of the community members who were very opposed to development for data centers that put really thoughtful information into the ordinance. Danny's in the back there. She has been the champion from day one, the first person to show up, and has done a great job to, help guide the conversation, and talk about what's important. I think that when everybody comes together and has a thoughtful, honest conversation instead of just whoever can be the loudest voice, we can get some stuff, accomplished. So that's what we're hoping for anyway.
I'd like to throw out too that the Planning Commission is also looking and comparing back and forth between our current saldo and the Pennsylvania Wilds Design Guide. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with that document, but it was drafted in the early 2000s. The Pennsylvania Wilds team is made up of 12 planning directors, and they came together and looked at, what type of land developments are coming into our area, what type of planning measures can we put in place to responsibly, plan for the land. And Chelsea English has been working with our planning department part-time now for about 2 weeks. And this is one of the efforts that we're tackling her with, going back and forth between our saldo and what's in that PA Wilds Design Guide to see, hey, do we have anything we can tighten up, or do we have anything that we can make better, to make sure that we're doing, the most we can do. So that's some of the work Chelsea's taking on. We're excited to see what she comes up with.
And the other thing I have to say is that it's nice to do all this work ahead of a set of plans coming in. There has never been a set of plans that came in. There's, nothing to, we're being proactive rather than reactive. We could have just said nothing, done nothing, and waited for a set of plans and then said, so I just appreciate, all the effort that there's been a lot of people that have really helped with this and worked on this with us. So it's appreciated. We'll be ready if and when it does happen.
Well, and to be honest with you, in July of last year, I thought Tioga County would be the last county that would see
100%.
a data center development, right? But unfortunately, that's not the case. And when we heard from that developer that he requested our data center ordinance, we felt flat-footed. It was not a comfortable feeling for me, and I know it wasn't comfortable for the three of us or the planning office. So we do want to be proactive. We want to understand, what our authority is, what we can do, how do we navigate this. But it's not just data centers. We have large-scale solar farms come into our community as well. How do we handle those? I don't want to be flat-footed in that development either. And again, we've heard a lot of folks saying that we need countywide zoning. And to be honest with you, it would be beneficial to have countywide zoning in a situation like data centers or large-scale solar farms or other forms of economic development. But historically, our communities come out and said, we don't want that. We don't want that in our community. So 15 years ago, that was shot down. And if you look across Pennsylvania, there's only 3 counties out of the 67 in Pennsylvania that have countywide zoning. So Pennsylvanians say they don't want countywide zoning. So ultimately that falls back to the municipalities. We have 19 municipalities that are doing municipal-wide zoning right now in Tioga County. And Rachel's been a huge support to them. We are working with them to update their, it's not their comprehensive plan, is it?
Yes.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Some
comprehensive
do not
plan.
even have or never have had a comprehensive plan,
Yeah.
so updates and creating.
And that's really the planning document that guides their community. So thank you. Again, super proud of our planning office and all the work that they've done to partner with these municipalities and get the conversation started. What if, so.
And the other thing too is I was at a NACO event last week in DC. This isn't just Pennsylvania, y'all. This is across the country. There wasn't one state there that didn't say, one county that almost every one of them said, we have development, in ours, and we have it here, and we have it here. I was shocked. And I believe there's tons of counties in Pennsylvania. It's not just us. And really, we're on top of the Marcellus Shale. It's, the 4th largest natural gas deposit on our planet. I mean, there's energy here, and which is going to target us for development. So, Is there any public comment at this time?
Please come to the podium. Anybody?
No, we just had an announcement about our event. I don't know where that falls.
Yeah, come on up.
Come on up.
Okay. The Tioga County Family Services Annual Community Awareness Day will be held on Saturday, June 27, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the green in Wellsboro. There will be informational and educational booths for local community resources, along with games and activities for children of all ages. These activities will be free for families to enjoy and participate in to have a fun family day. Every year, we ask local businesses to consider donating to one of the many activities and events that we have planned for the Child Abuse Prevention and Foster Care Awareness event. Examples of donations include monetary donations, snacks, drinks, and giveaway. There will also be a tent at the Community Awareness Day providing free refreshments. Tioga County Family Services and local providers across multiple disciplines come together to provide information to local families about the resources in our areas to spread the word about what is available to parents and caregivers and children.
Thank you. All right.
I just had a quick question about what the appraisal was for in Mansfield.
I think we talked about it last month, didn't we? I think we talked about that appraisal. So essentially, there's a tax appeal on the EQT Mansfield property. To be honest with you, this is the last thing we want to do. We don't want to have to do this. We are fighting the appeal of the valuation of that building, but it's part of the process. So.
Thank you. We figured it was.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Salary board,
Yep.
minutes of May 12th.
Is there any public comment on for salary board this morning? I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the May 12th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, first up is to reclassify the judicial line staff position in the Domestic Relations Office to a title of conference officer.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Next is to update the current MDIT position in the District Attorney's Office to MDIT/Special Victims Coordinator position at $52,000 per year with benefits.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion for approval.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next up, Marty Shabowski, our Deputy Director at EMA, will be assuming the responsibility as Emergency Management Coordinator as well. Salary $76,184, $45 per year effective June 8th.
I'll make a motion for approval.
No second.
I think we should have a long discussion on this of how great Marty has done. And Marty, we appreciate your efforts. That it's a position that, you know, you can honestly say just kind of grew into very rapidly. And, you know, that, you know, with the flood that happened, you know, that it was devastating for our community. But there's a lot of things that grew out of that experience, and Marty, I see, you know, you stepping up into a bigger role as a blessing of that. So,
Yeah, your leadership during the flood was
100%.
invaluable. And as you move through the certification, you know, we want to be there as partners for you and support to you. So let us know what we can do to help to get that over the finish line, and glad to have you taking on this role for us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll open the Tioga County Retirement Fund Board with public comment on agenda items only. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for the minutes, to approve the minutes of the May 12th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor with aye?
Aye.
Next up, excuse me, is a payment to CNN for May 2026 management fee, $21,409.18.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor with aye?
Aye.
And next is the payment to Foster and Foster for June through August 2026 actuarial services, $6,828.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor with aye?
Aye.
And the rest is just for information of the board.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I'll turn it over to Commissioner Van Loon for Tioga County Election Board.
Welcome to Election Board. All right. Any public comment on this topic? Seeing none, look for approval of the minutes from the May 9th meeting. They are signed and verified.
I'll make the motion for approval.
I'll second it.
First and second, all fair vote with aye.
Aye.
Aye. And for information, we did certify the election finally yesterday on the 8th. And currently they're working on doing our 50-year voter application honorees. So there's a Hall of Fame for voters who vote in 50 consecutive general elections. And Cindy's been scrubbing the records for that, and there's like 10 folks who have not been acknowledged. So just so you know, you can get an award for voting consistently. So it's kind of fun she's doing that. We're gonna have a little ceremony for that, date to be determined for that. But it's a quiet time now between now and the next time around. So pending any discussion, we'll move for adjournment on the election board.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you, guys.